Italian food does not exist.
Wow,
and you want to know
Benny.
why? I know.
That's a big one.
It's a big one. You want to know why? Because Italy is a very young country. We've been a country for a little bit over 160 years.
But the land and the people, we've been around for over 2,000 years, okay? So if you do the math, doesn't it make sense that Italian cuisine is local and not national? Doesn't it?
Totally. Italy is made up of 20 regions and they could not be more different one from another. Join us because we're going to be taking you on this beautiful journey across the country, one region at a time, and you're going to learn what to eat, drink, taste, see, and shop in each region, just like a local would.
Let's start with Lazio. Oh, but wait, maybe that doesn't ring a bell to you. Lazio is the region where Rome is the main city. So let me rephrase that. If you're traveling to Rome, listen close because we've got lots of local insights to share with you.
Italy is shaped like a boot, and Lazio is in the center west. So picture your knee and your ankle. It's about halfway. And Rome is not only the capital of Italy, but it's also the capital of Lazio. And since Rome has such an overpowering presence, I mean, Rome is Rome, unfortunately, the rest of the region is sometimes overlooked, which is a real pity because there are some beautiful and stunning things to see and explore.
Rome may be the star of Lazio, but if you want to explore the region, we have 5 places that we have handpicked for you, which are must-sees in the region of Lazio.
Civita di Bagnoregio, also known as the Dying City, is this beautiful town that sits on top of this crumbling hill, and you could only reach it by foot across this bridge, and you find it in the northern part of Lazio. Once you do this bridge and you enter, it looks like entering a little fairy tale. It's this beautiful town, and personally I think it's one of the most beautiful things to see in Italy. And guess what? We have a full video on a trip that we took there.
On the southern coast of Lazio is this town called Gaeta. It's halfway between Rome and Naples. It's a seaside town, beautiful beaches, ancient city center, and it also has this incredible local dish called tiella. It's sort of like a pizza and a pie. And of course, we went to Gaeta to taste it in another video for you.
A fairy tale location to go visit are the Giardini di Ninfa. They are close to a town called Latina, close to Rome. And picture this, rare plants, waterfalls, ancient castles, century-old trees, all nestled in this beautiful, beautiful park. Springtime is the moment to go see them because they are breathtaking.
Just outside of Rome is a town called Tivoli, which is famous for 2 villas, Villa Adriana and Villa d'Este. Villa d'Este is this Renaissance garden with fountains, very, very famous. Villa Adriana was the estate of the Emperor Hadrian. And so these 2 very different villas show you how back then they knew how to relax in style.
Last but not least, we have I Castelli Romani, the Roman castles. And they're not castles, they're these beautiful hillside towns scattered in a certain specific area. We went to the town of Ariccia, which is very, very famous for its porchetta, and it was delicious. We did a video about that too. And then you have the town of Nemi that is famous for its little strawberries, and you sit in the strawberries overlooking the lake. It's a beautiful place. And obviously the wines, being volcanic soil, are pretty special. So the Castelli Romani are another destination that you should not miss when you come to Lazio.
Before we dive into the food and wine of the region of Lazio, I want to share a very important secret with you. Now, Italy is relatively a small country, but its 20 regions are like 20 different worlds. Now, why is this? There are 3 main key factors that make this happen. It's the climate, the geography, and the history. Each of these factors make these 20 regions so different. And once you understand these nuances, then all the rest, the food, the people, the wines, they just make sense.
Let's talk about Lazio. So Lazio borders with Tuscany, Umbria, Molise, Abruzzo e Campania, and the Tyrrhenian Sea. And what is fascinating about this region, it's geographical varieties. It's sort of, imagine it divided in like 3 bands. And so you have the mountains, you have the inland, and you have the sea. And so you have such a magical mix of completely different settings that make this region really fascinating, food-wise, cultural-wise, and traditional-wise.
In the eastern part of the region, you have the Apennine Mountains. So the landscape is mountain peaks, you have this deep valley, rivers, forests. The climate, therefore, is colder. It actually even snows in winter. There are more temperature swings, and therefore the food is very warm. It's rich. You've got sheep milk cheeses, you have cured meats, chestnuts, you have lentils. Very comforting.
Let's move a little bit more towards the west of Lazio, and here you're going to find a landscape that has been shaped by ancient volcanoes, so it's very, very, very hilly. The climate is mild yet seasonal, and being shaped by ancient volcanoes, what does this mean? It means that the soil is extremely rich and fertile. And so here we have great production of fruits and vegetables. This area is known as Lazio's personal garden, and this is where some of Rome's best produce comes from. So here we have the production of obviously great wine, but not only, we have artichokes, fava beans, and obviously extra virgin olive oil.
And now we reach the coastal area. Now this area used to be swampy. It was then reclaimed in the 20th century. Now it's this flat, sunny area, perfect for large-scale farming. Here the climate is Mediterranean, so the winters are warm and mild and the summers are dry. How is the food here? Well, it's perfect for fresh vegetables, for herbs, for citruses, and the area has plenty of seafood.
Sorry, I just had something that I wanted to tell you. If you haven't yet subscribed to our channel, Local Aromas, do it now because we are working on so many little fun and informative videos about Italy that I know you do not want to miss. So subscribe now. Okay, continue watching.
How did history shape Lazio? So it's not just about the land, but it's about the civilizations that inhabited this land over the past 3,000 years. One of the first civilizations were the Etruscans. Very, very ancient civilizations. We're talking about pre-Roman. They inhabited the northern part of Lazio, and here they farmed the land, they raised the animals, and here they developed some of the first ways for cultivating vine, grapes, and grains. They were very, very tied to the seasonality, to the land, and to simple things. And this is a trait that we still have here in Lazio.
Then came the Romans, who took those ideas and built a food empire around them. Roman cuisine was built on local ingredients, practical recipes, and using every part of the animal. And this is a philosophy that we still use in cooking today. So if you've had cacio e pepe or tripe, you know what? You've tasted ancient Rome on a plate.
Now let's fast forward to the Middle Ages. Picture this. Lazio is the core of the Papal States, and Rome is the seat of the Catholic Church. A lot of people from all over Europe came to Rome, and along came traditions, ingredients, different food culture. All this blend gave the food of Lazio a great diversity of layers of flavors. And so we have new spices, we have preserved food, and different traditions were introduced, like religious traditions, for example, to eat fish on Friday for the Catholic.
During the Renaissance, food in Lazio became more refined, especially in the homes of nobles and popes. Also, new ingredients from the New World came into the Old World, like tomatoes, beans, peppers, and chefs started mixing and combining sweet and savory, and food and meals were more also about presentation and style than just flavor.
Today, Lazio is a beautiful reflection of all these influences throughout the centuries. The flavors are bold and simple, and so from the mountains all the way to the sea, passing through the hills, every little place has its own specialty, its own tradition, its own food, its own flavors, and this is what makes Lazio such a wonderful region to eat and explore.
Let's let's talk about what Lazio actually puts on the table. And can you guess what the key factor is? Yeah, exactly, seasonality. So based on when you come to Rome or to Lazio, these are the ingredients and therefore the dishes that you should be looking for based on the time of the year. Spring is all about artichokes, asparagus, fava beans, strawberries, and a very local kind of ingredient called puntarelle, which is like a chicory salad. Summer is super colorful. You've got tomatoes, you've got zucchini and zucchini flowers, bell peppers, and then all the fruits, peaches, apricots, and then the herbs, basil. It's just like an explosion of color and flavor. Autumn is more about warmth. You've got the grapes, chestnuts, you've got pumpkin and porcini mushrooms. Winter is green with the broccoli, the spinach, the beautiful Romanesco broccoli, and then you have a hint of color with lemons and oranges. And then last but not least is this very important ingredient that is used all year long, but it is harvested between autumn and winter, extra virgin olive oil.
Now let's talk about the products, and I might get a little bit emotional here. Lazio has some amazing products that you only have here. First and foremost is pecorino romano. I mean, this cheese dates back to the Roman Empire. It's made with sheep milk, it's very bold and strong, and it is one of the main ingredients of the 4 Roman pastas like cacio e pepe, but we're going to be talking about that later. Another cheese, ricotta. Ricotta is a soft cheese that can be used for savory and for sweet dishes. Very, very good. Then we have guanciale. Remember this word, guanciale. It's this part here. It's the cheek of the pork and it is magical. And you find it in 3 of the 4 Roman pastas. And then porchetta. Imagine this roast of pork, sweet and juicy in the inside and crunchy in the outside. And these are just 4 products that I'm talking about, just 4 of what Lazio has to offer.
And then you have the wines of Lazio, but I'm not going to talk about them because we have a wine sommelier, so I think she should explain what wines you should have in this region.
Modestly, I don't know why you should be talking about wines when you don't know anything, you just drink. Let's talk about wines from Lazio. Now, the soil, as I mentioned before, is very volcanic, and so it's very perfect, and you don't say that in English, but it's very perfect to grow great white, crispy wines. So the area around Castelli Romani, that's what you should be looking for. You have the Frascati, which is one of the towns there that is famous for its white wine. Also look for these 2 grapes, il cacchione or il bellone, because they're going to surprise you. They're from this area. Lazio is not very famous for its reds, but there is one red grape that is one of my sister's favorites that is called Cesanese, and it's a bold red grape that produces a red wine that you will definitely enjoy.
Other than the local dishes that differ depending on the season, we have incredible dishes in Rome that you will always find. These are the ones that I picked for you guys. First of all, you've got the 4 Roman pastas, the iconic 4 Roman pastas, which are carbonara, cacio e pepe, gricia, and amatriciana. Then you have supplì, which is this fried ball of rice, not arancini. In Rome, they are supplì. Then you have the round, thin crust Roman pizza. And we also have another kind of version of pizza, which is pizza by the slice, and that you pay depending on the weight. Now let's go into the sweet side, which is my favorite. And I have chosen for you something that is super local. It is a pastry called Maritozzo con la panna. So it's this sweet bun split in half and stuffed with whipping cream. And one of my favorites, it's crostata di ricotta e viscere, which is a tart stuffed with ricotta cheese and sour cherry. Mwah!
Now, for the most adventurous of you out there, guys, even if you're not adventurous, there are certain dishes that you cannot not eat when you come to Rome. You know the saying, when in Rome? Well, this is one of the cases. Quinto quarto, 5th quarter, the offals. Yes. It's the less noble part of the animal, which Romans managed to take and turn into delicious dishes that you will find pretty much every single traditional Roman restaurant. think pagliata, think trippa alla romana, tripe, coratella con I carciofi, animelle, coda alla vaccinara. These are names of dishes that are entrenched in history and tradition and flavors of Rome. And so even if you're not an adventurous eater, go for it, because you will not regret it.
Italian food does not exist.
It does not exist.
Italian food does not exist. And you have just explored the region of Lazio. So now you know what to eat, what to drink, and what to see when you come.
Guys, that's just one region. We have 19 more to go.
Ooh, that's exciting.
I know.